So I'm all done with the project, and I thought I'd do a walk around and show you a summary of the work. The paint scheme is a Dunkel blue, which is dark blue, and hell silver or bright silver. I liked that. I think it was done on the 79s. Originally the seat cowl would have been in Dunkel, but I like doing it in hell silver. I think it looks nicer and more cohesive. The pinstriping there is just a single white band, whereas on the gas tank it's red and white, and also on the lower fairing lip it's red and white, and up on the top of the upper fairing panel it's all red, and then the fenders, like the gas tank, red and white. Now I painted the wheels white in homage to the R65LS, which is a bike Hans Muth designed, and he also designed the RS. The lower panels here are all in hell silver. The engine work, I had the heads rebuilt by Randy Long, and they're dual plugged. So here's the second spark plug. And I had the pistons changed out to higher compression, 9.5 to 1, and the cylinders Nicosil plated to match the pistons. I painted the brake calipers in blue, and that matches the anodized blue that BMW used on the first year RS. So once again, sort of an homage to Hans Muth's design concepts. Now the transmission I rebuilt, and I put in what's called a taller fifth gear, so it's one tooth less than the original number of teeth. The side panel decal is from Heritage Stickers, and that's the original design for this paint scheme. The mufflers I replaced, although at first I thought I'd be okay using the originals, but they were pretty rusty at the seams. So I got those from Euromotive Electrics. The top brace comes from Toaster Tan, so I've stiffened that up quite a bit. The forks were rebuilt with Racetech cartridge emulators, and they do seem to be more compliant than the original forks, so I'm happy with that. The other major change was to the charging system and the ignition system. I replaced the charging system with a 400 watt kit from Euromotive Electrics, and the ignition system with the optical electronic ignition. So those are upgrades to the bike. I installed Gazé rear shocks and had to dial those back a little bit on rebound damping, but they're riding pretty smooth right now, so in general I'm pleased with the suspension system. And of course the carbs were all rebuilt, and all of the engine work and transmission work I polished and cleaned, so they're looking pretty good. Now I had the frame powder coated by Powder Coating Specialties, and they did a nice job. And I didn't mention it, but the pinstriping was done by Richard Loss, or Rick Loss, and the paint work was done by a friend of mine, Mike Galindo of Painkiller Customs. He used to have a shop here in Denver, but he's moved to Phoenix, so he actually did all the paint work in Phoenix for me. When I got the bike, the instruments needed some work, so I sent them to Terry Verla, and he rebuilt the speedometer for me and calibrated it so it's reading true now. So I always name my bikes after Muppet characters, and this bike has been named Cookie Monster 2, and all the bikes have a Sesame Street or Muppets character attached to them. This particular Cookie Monster character used to be on my 1150 RS, but I sold it because I really felt like I wanted to build this airhead version of a tour bike, and I brought Cookie over, mounted him on this bike, and so this is really Cookie Monster 2, as in T-O-O. Now inside the fairing there used to be pockets that BMW installed, but they come real close to the tank, so I'm going to come up with a different storage solution that doesn't encroach on the tank as much. Now the side air vents, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount some auxiliary LED lights that will stick out a little here inside the vent housing and get some additional illumination, and then put the switch up on the panel for those. The seat has damage, but I'm going to get it redone, new foam and reformed, but I can't get that done until November, so it's just going to go on there for now so I can put some miles on the bike. Well, we'll do an engine start here so you can hear it running. So I'll just do a final walk around so you can see everything. It took about 18 months to tear this down all the way. So I had the crank out of the engine and the cam and then rebuild everything. And I actually really like that paint scheme. And I do like the white wheels. I think that's a nice addition to the bike. So there you go, all done.